Another divisional game, another divisional loss. Let's get into it. Hey, what's going on? Matt O'Leary here with the post-game recap of Jets-Dolphins. Before we get started, follow along with me on social media at Matt O'Leary NY, and make sure to call in with your reaction to the game for the Just Jets podcast. New episodes every Wednesday. So the New York Jets lost a game they were in for most of it, and then kind of just couldn't hold up anymore defensively, so they ended up losing this one 24-17. Let's get into it. On the first drive, defense just no-shows, man. Gesicki right down the field. They couldn't cover the tight end all day long. Missed tackles on third downs. Waddle runs it in from a couple yards out. 7-0 early for the Miami Dolphins. Now the Jets got the ball, and with their first possession, don't really do too much. Nothing really of note. But what I wanted to get into was a nice reactionary play from Ashtyn Davis the next time the Miami Dolphins were on the field, as Tua Tagovailoa would have pressure in his face, and he would make a terrible decision, and Ashtyn Davis made a nice play to show off his athleticism. Unfortunately, later in the game, didn't play very well, but we'll get to that when we get to that. But Jets right back in this game after that turnover. You would have a big run from Michael Carter to set up the Jets inside the 5. They end up going for it on fourth down, a wise decision in my eyes, and they tie it up as Jamison Crowder would score from a couple yards out to make it 7-7. Jets defense forces a 3-and-out. That's great. The Jets are moving the ball a little bit. They get it inside the red zone, and then Joe Flacco is absolutely murked. All right. Untouched off the edge, strip sack, ball pops in the air. Morgan Moses gets hurt on the play. He would thankfully come back, but yeah, the Miami Dolphins recover. Jets don't get any points on that possession. The Jets force a stop for Miami. Again, not much going on. Defense playing pretty well at this point. Jets get the ball, and this time there was a missed call on my guy Elijah Moore. No defensive pass interference or holding was called on the play. I don't understand why. Robert Saleh was going ballistic on the sideline, rightfully so. It was a missed call. So the Jets forced to punt the ball back after moving the ball relatively well before that. Not much going for Miami again. Jets get the ball. They are in a position where they're attempting a long field goal, 55-yarder, and doink. Matt Amendola misses it. It was not his only miss of the afternoon. More on that later. They let Miami march right down the field, and then they miss a field goal to end the half. So 7-7, this thing was tied up going into halftime. Jets obviously very much so in this game. Outside of the half, Michael Carter injured, which that's the big story. He was playing extremely well before that. He hit his over on the rushing yards prop that I talked about on Odds Checker this week, and it's just frustrating because he's one of the better rookie finds of this draft class. The Jets rookies have played really well this year, him being one of those. So I hope it's nothing major, but he did not return in this game. The Jets would look like to be lining up for a 56-yarder. Instead, they were just taking a delay of game on purpose to punt back, giving themselves some more room. And then you had a big touchdown play from Tua to Hollins, 14-7. Now, Isaiah Dunn made the mistake on this play, but at the same time, Ashtyn Davis's route was funny. The play on that ball, he just, I don't know, he is trying to pursue ball carriers to make a tackle, is just off right now. But is just collapse on defense on that play. So at this point, Miami's up 14-7. Something I have to talk about, and would later come back to bite them in a sense. The Jets burned 2 timeouts in the third quarter. Just unacceptable things. The Jets are not good at managing the clock. They just aren't. It's a young staff. I get that, but they need to be on top of this. This has to be a change. If you're writing a critique of Robert Saleh and the staff that is very high up on the list, the Jets would then get an intentional grounding call on Joe Flacco, move him back. They instead try to kick a 40-yard field goal to get within 4 at this point to make it a 14-10 game. And Amendola misses again. So I think there's a chance that he's cut this week. It was a really rough going. It didn't look very good. Now, the next thing to note is a very big positive. Elijah Moore, quick quick slant. Wow, that's kind of hard to say. Alliteration. Quick slant for 62 yards for Elijah Moore. That's what we've been looking for as Jet fans. He ended up on the day, I think, 130 receiving yards. He was phenomenal for this team, and that's what you want to see from Elijah. That one, the route running was really good, and number two, just this breakaway speed after with the ball in his hands is really impressive. Next possession, these are when the defense starts falling apart and the wheels fall off. A roughing the passer gives Miami a 1st and goal. Jets could have got off the field at this point. It was John Franklin Myers who was called on it, which is frustrating because that's going to be the narrative from this game. But before that, John Franklin Myers was the one who got the pressure on Tua on the first interception by Davis, and he had a really good day getting pressure after the quarterback. But that penalty is what's going to be remembered, and then you're going to get the Muhammad Wilkerson or Henry Anderson narratives, which is, I just think, ridiculous. I think he's been playing better than a lot of people are giving him credit for. Has he been great since the extension? No, he hasn't been what he was in that one Tennessee game, obviously. But he's not been nearly as invisible as some Jet fans want you to believe. So Tua finds Gaskin, mostly hurt on the play. I think he was concussed by the safety they found off the street. Stupid. Bad stuff. So Miami obviously up at this point. Jets offense stalls. They punt it back to Miami. Dolphins go down and add a quick field goal after a penalty by Pinnock, a rookie making a mistake. Was it a penalty? Questionable. It was definitely questionable. But when your hands are on the outside of a receiver like that, it's going to get called. I'm not saying it was necessarily the right thing to happen, and I don't know if it's a penalty. Yes, the receiver did fall down, so I think he just lost his footing, but you can't put your arms around a receiver like that, and that's when he was going back to the sideline. That's exactly what his coach was telling him at that point. So that extends the drive. 24-14, Jets kick a garbage time field goal to make it 24-17. But they are unable to win this one, unable to cover, and fall to 2-8 on the season. Not great. This was a game that was winnable, but neither of these teams are any good, clearly, because there was a lot of mistakes on this for both sides. Jets offense was okay. Joe Flacco, I think, finished with 291 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. He was fine, which is exactly what I expected him to be. I thought he would be okay. He was fine. He wasn't great. He wasn't bad. Hopefully Zach Wilson's able to go next week. That's the biggest thing. And they are going down to Houston to take on the Texans, who surprisingly beat the Tennessee Titans this week, because the NFL is just weird. I don't know. NFL makes no sense sometimes. So biggest takeaways for me from this game: Michael Carter injury, not good. Need to get him back. He was establishing himself as a number 1 running back. He's looked really good. I'm excited about him with the future on this team, and I hope that he's able to play against Houston this week. Elijah Moore was awesome. This is what the Jets want. To me, he looks far and away the best receiver on this team. I think he's surpassed Corey Davis at this point. I don't think the Jets should be force-feeding the ball to Corey Davis anymore, and Mike LaFleur up in the booth is making a massive difference. His play calling was very good today. I thought I had no issues with it. It was more so they hurt themselves with taking timeouts in a bad spot, missing field goals. There was just, that stuff is the frustrating thing. So no issue with LaFleur today. And again, Joe Flacco was fine filling in. I don't know. Would Mike White have been better? I don't know. Does it matter? No, it doesn't. Jets lost 24-17. They haven't beat an AFC East team, I don't know how long. I guess the last game of the 2019 season, when Buffalo rested their starters. That's probably the last, I guess, right? That's the last divisional game the Jets have won. Unbelievable. Jets, Houston next week. We'll have you covered all throughout the week with videos and stuff like that. Make sure to call in, leave your response. What you thought about the game. I'm Matt O'Leary. Thanks so much for tuning in. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll talk to you next time.